Right? So really appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys hopping on and sharing your pieces. I will now go ahead and touch on the sales tactic that we use to basically build trust almost below the perception of the client. Because if you're doing something that is obvious, like you're trying too hard or you're obviously trying, then the client will not you will think you're disingenuous. So bear in mind, guys, that anything that we teach here is something that you have to do with utmost genuineness, right? It has to become actually a part of you, right? So it can't be something that you want to put over the client's head or whatever. You have to make it become so natural that it becomes a part of you, right? So get out your notebooks and some pens, pencil, whatever, and just make a note of these things, because these are high level stuff. High level stuff. Some of you might have known it or have been doing it on a subconscious level. However, these are very high level sales tactics. So this one taught to me by some of my powerful mentors in terms of sales mentors. This one is very high level, right? We call it the mirror and matching technique. Have you guys ever heard of that one before? Mirror and matching. Who has ever heard of that before? So mirror and matching technique is very high level mental stuff, but it's very easy to do. That's it. So it's high level, it builds instant trust and will instantly increase your close rate. Guaranteed. Instantly increase your close rate, because a lot of the times, why people don't buy from us? They don't trust us. So if you are able to build trust, build rapport with someone on a psychological level, people buy on gut feeling. So if they have a good feeling about you, they're gonna buy from you. And this mirror and matching technique literally helps them to get a good feeling about you. Because the trick is, guys, if you are the same as your client, meaning not necessarily in the same financial situation, but um, if you are akin or very similar to the client, then the client will feel like they should be spending with you and not another advisor who is too far above them. Very similar to what Keanu was saying, who's too far above them in terms of status, or too far above them that they won't understand them. So this mirror and matching technique helps them to feel the same as you. So this technique is builds instant rapport, as we've been saying, right? Um, you literally don't have to do anything different. As we say, we fear the different, but are drawn to what is the same. All right. So if someone is similar to us, we more likely will want to be working with someone who is similar to us versus someone who is totally different from us. Right? So the reason for this technique is to build rapport, which builds trust and ensures you close more sales. And let me see who on this call would want to close more sales. Who on this call would want to increase their FYC? Let me reconfirm that we're still there. You guys still want to increase your FYC? All right, so let's go down. Let's go and break this thing down step by step now, guys. So first things first, the very lowest level, the easiest thing to do is to literally match the client's speech rate. So remember, if you're the same as the client, they're gonna want to buy from you. It works on a psychological level. So as we keep on saying. So you want to be doing things similar to the client to basically get them to trust you on a psychological level, because sales is so much psychological. Right? The words that there are two aspects of sales, guys. You have the logical aspect, which is the words that you're saying, and you have the emotional side of the sale, which is the way how you make the client feel. A client will not buy from you even if your product makes sense You spit out all of the goodness and all of that if you don't make them feel good, or if you don't make them feel the right emotions. Because you have to make them, sometimes you have to make them feel excited, because people will not buy unless they feel that they will be losing something if they don't buy. They're going to feel in a poor spot. Sometimes you have to let them feel just a little pain, enough to really show them what they will lose if they don't purchase something with you. What they have on the table to lose. You have to make them feel the right emotions at the right time, right? Not too much pain though, because you will basically cause them to, you know, run away. Nobody likes the bearer of bad news. So just enough. All right. So as we said, the first thing that you're gonna be matching is the speech rate. And the speech rate is basically how fast they talk. So if you're talking to someone who speaks quickly, you're gonna basically need to match how quickly. Like if they speak fast, you're not going to be doing these things, by the way, obviously, right? It's just gonna be sometimes you have to basically put it in there, throw it in there like a dash of salt, right? So if you notice, sometimes they're talking quick. It's a reason. It's because they're latched on to an emotion. So you want to go with that emotion and ride that wave with them, right? So first things first, you have to match the speech rate, right? Then the next thing, the second level to this is to match keywords and key phrases that they're saying, right? So, for example, if you keep on saying insurance, and your client basically are you yeah if you keep on saying insurance and your client is saying protect my money, or protect my assets, don't keep on saying insurance, because that if you keep on saying that, they don't understand it from that perspective, right? You would basically switch it around now and basically show them that these are some things that you can use to protect your assets. Like if you're while you're selling, you keep on latching on to that. So you put in your insurance here and there, but the main word that you would use is the word that the client keeps on using. So whatever the client uses, you have to go to the client's level, as Keanu said. So if you say something and you hear your client rephrase the word as that thing, then you do that. If you're talking to your client and you hear them say something like, "Wow, this is amazing," right? You keep on using this amazing opportunity is something that only a few persons get, only a few persons take opportunity. It's so amazing, like you just basically throw it in there like salt, like you're stewing a nice pot of soup, right? You throw it in there, you latch on to certain words so that they can keep on feeling the emotion that they already created, right? You don't want to basically go a different way, because you'll talk yourself out of the sale, right? You have to match the keywords and the key phrases. So if they use a certain setup, the key phrases now, if they're using a certain set of words, for example, a certain types of words together. Like for example, um, these are some of the living expenses I use. These are some of the things that these are some of the expenses, or these are some of my living expenses um, that I do on a daily basis. You're not gonna be talking about disposable income. They're basically latching on to living expenses, or you're not gonna be talking about or say, suppose they say I am taking out a house on loan. You're not gonna be using the word mortgage instead of the way how they do it. You have to basically match the keywords and the key phrases that the client uses, because that's how they understand it, and that's the level that they take it from. So that's where you want to be also, right? So that's that. And next thing, number 3 on our list, guys, is matching the tone of voice. Matching the tone of voice. Very, very important. You want to be able to match the tone, right? The tone of voice, the tone of voice is literally like the key that the voice is in. So is it low and rumbly, or is it high pitch and exciting and up there. You want to basically be matching the client's tone of voice, right? So you basically want to stay where they are, but there's also some advanced stuff to it where you have to say, for instance, the client is not too excited about what you're presenting. You want to go down to their not so excited tone because you don't want to be they're like, how are you doing or you're like, how are you doing today, sir? And they're like, I'm good. And then you're okay, that's amazing. No, you don't want any of that, guys. If the client, if you were up here, like you're saying, how are you doing today, John? And John is like, I'm good. You want to go down to John's level. And you can say, okay, John, I see that you're very good. So what makes the day so good? Right? So go down to John's level. And then what you want to do is to bring John up to your level. Right? So you have to first match the tone. And then you slowly edge him to more excited. Then edge him to another level of excitement, edge, and he's going to come with you because you're the one that's leading the interaction. And he's going to, if you meet him where he's at and bring him up, he's going to come, right? But you have to basically match him and meet him where he is at, right? So continuing on with that example. So if John says, I'm doing good, and you say, okay, John, I see that you're good. What makes the day so good? And John is like, well, I'm talking to you, the financial advisor today. And, I just want to see what you guys have to offer. You could be like, okay, amazing, John. I'm glad that you're here. You want to see what we have to offer. Amazing things to talk to you about. And then John is going to be like, okay, let me see what you have to offer. So if you realize with my voice, guys, and this is literally what happens in sales encounters, especially even in the ones that I do along the way, um, whether I'm talking to business persons, financial advisors, all that, you know, people tend to match your tone if they feel like you're the same. So you go down to their level at first, their tone, and then you bring them up. If you realize my voice was, I kept on increasing my tone, and the advisor, or sorry, not the advisor, John, kept on increasing with me ever so slightly. All right, so you have to match the tone and bring them to where you want. So next thing that we want to do is to match the client's body language. This is very powerful, especially when, like the other ones, we can use to basically, when we're talking to the person on the phone, when we're basically talking to the person, um, you know, in person also. However, the body language is you're only able to utilize it um, when you're in person or when you're on video call, right? So you're able to now go ahead and match the body language, right, of this client. And we don't want to do it creepy, guys. So we don't if the person is, let me see if I can show myself here. You don't want to be creepy. So if the person is, say for instance, the person is like leaning on their chair like this, they're talking. You don't want, as the person do this, we don't want to go over here and do this. And then as the person do this, so for instance, they're doing this, you don't want to do it at the same time. What you want to do when you're matching body language, say for instance, the person is there and they're getting into a state of comfort, like they're leaning back and they're saying, "Mhm, okay." And you're there talking. What you do, you slowly move back into your chair, and then you slowly raise your hand and you start talking. If that's comfortable for you, you can basically just mimic that. But you don't want to do it at the same time, right? And bear in mind that the client is not thinking that you're you're there doing exactly what they're. It's gonna feel weird, I'm telling you, because when I just started, it felt super weird. But to be honest, I've made some of my closest friends just by making that a part of me, right? So, just by, you know, just by going out there and just mimicking the person's body language, not T to T, but basically, just working with them. If they are relaxed, you go in a state of relaxation also, and you talk to them. That has actually helped me to make some of my closest friends. And to be honest, it has actually been a part of me most of my life. And, it has really helped me to be the way that I am in really building relationships. Because while I was studying this, I realized that I was already doing it without even knowing. And a lot of you probably even realize that that is something that you do, even when you're going on your sales now. You're going to realize that you already do it instinctively. Some of these things we learn as human beings because they are traits. These are things that really work, right? Persons have studied them, scientists have studied them, and they work, right? So if the person goes into relaxation, you talk and talk and talk and slowly go into a little relaxation. You don't have to do exactly what they do, but just mimic or mirror what they do, right? Mirror and match. They're there, they come forward and they're listening to you. You can, and they have their hand on their chin. You can just lean forward also to basically mimic the posture. You want to mimic the posture, you want to mimic what the hands are doing, right? And that's basically most of the body language. If they're leaning away, there are little things that they're also communicating when they do body language. However, we don't want to get too in depth into that right now, but you basically just want to mimic or mirror their body language slowly as possible. While you're talking, just making it look natural, right? Everybody following me so far? Everybody following? All right. So, who can tell me what are the four traits that you must mirror and match if you want someone to feel comfortable with you? What are the four traits that you must mirror and match if you want someone to feel comfortable with you? Want one of your clients to feel comfortable and increase your FYC? You can type it in the chat or you can unmute your mic and speak. Go ahead. Go ahead. Right. That's number one. All right. Number two. Number three. Right. One more. Right. Perfect. Perfect. So much basically the language pattern or the words that they say, key phrases. Very good. Very good. Everyone, can you just unmute and give Akisha a round of applause, please? And, you know, let me know any feedback that you have. You have my number. I can be reached at 876-823-3165. That's 876-823-3165. And you can ask me anything that you so desire, and we can go ahead and help you out with any questions that you have. Thank you again for coming to the seminar. I really appreciate each and every one of you for coming. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and go out there and just be great, guys. Go out there and just kill it. All right. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you again Monday and bring a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and you just come on over and get this free knowledge. Talk to you Monday again.